How's it? Today is Monday, May 29th. I am 6 days out from a meet on June 4th. It is getting real right now. I was a 162.2 this morning, and typically this is when I start to do my water cut. 6 days out is my water cut protocol. That's when it starts at least. I have never been this low, this close to the weight before, so I'm actually not going to do a water cut this week. We'll see what happens. But yeah, today I am doing openers. Given how poorly Friday went, I don't think I can open at 100 at 130. it's not it's not the ideal situation, but assuming I go 6 for 6, or if I do one, if I just make one snatch and one clean and jerk at like 105 and 135, I will have a chance, or I will qualify for the American Open Finals, which at the end of the day is not my ultimate goal. It's just one of those intermediate steps that is nice to take. So my goal would be for senior nationals to be 265 total, but I'm incredibly far from that. My best total before the, or I guess in general, my best total is 245, which happened on Christmas in 2021 or Christmas Eve 2021. So it's been quite some time since I put together solid numbers, but a lot of life has happened since then too. So I have to really think about that and um, keep that perspective in my head because I've been going through a lot of stuff. But yeah, when I got to the gym today, nobody was there. Apparently, it was closed. But I do have like a 24-hour access, so I can come in whenever I want. And then actually, Brandon, a gentleman in the back over there, he was just like, "Oh, dude, thank God you're here, because I wouldn't have he wouldn't have been able to get in." But snatch warm-ups today were awesome. Look at that. I don't think I've done this well on my warm-up specifically for snatch in the last 6 weeks. For sure, before the meet, I don't think I felt like this with warm-ups. I thought a lot about what G1 was telling me. Thank you again for that. The two things I put them together essentially. The first one, more importantly, is kind of let the extension of your legs and your hips get the bar where it's gonna go, and then get under the bar. I don't know if that's exactly what he said, but that's what I took away from it, and that's what I remember, and that's what's helped me a lot today. Kind of, it's allowing me to be more patient. You'll see on these, like, that last one, 70, 80. Watch this. Yep, 90 as well. It happens at the 95s too, but not as pronounced. I think the first 95 was not super great. Second thing is to kind of just be okay with it being heavy off of the ground, and then just trust in my extension, which I think coming from me, I've always had it that way, where my speed off of the ground has always been bad. I don't think that I've ever been strong off of the ground. This is the strongest I've ever been off of the ground, so it is refreshing to hear that, right? And then the other thing is just something that I've been thinking about for the last couple months, essentially, is keep my chest on top of the bar for longer. Yeah. It's worth noting today that my hip, my adductors, my right one, it didn't hurt when I was warming up. It didn't hurt when I pulled into the bottom position for the snatch. It didn't hurt at all with squats. It didn't hurt at all with clean or jerk. So that is very, very, very um, promising and pleasing. After those snatches, I moved into my clean and jerks here. Rather than doing what I did last Friday because I didn't have time, I had time today, so I went 60, 80, 100, 10, 20, and then 25. I had the same ideas for my cleans that I did on snatch, with like the two things that Jiwan was mentioning, and then that thing that I've been practicing was keeping my chest over the bar, keeping my arms longer, keeping my arms long for longer. And yeah, I mean, my cleans today were awesome. They're the best cleans, best three cleans I've done at top set probably this whole year. So that is something that I can proudly say that I am happy with. Even these warm-up weights at 100, 110, and 120, they were pretty good too. Jerks left a lot to be desired. I think when I woke up this morning, I felt like I was getting sick, and I wasn't sure if I was gonna lift, so I ended up going back to sleep for about like 3 hours, and then when I woke up again after that, I felt fine. But about halfway through the session here, it felt like my legs were weak. Not like fatigued, but like weak, weak. And it felt like I couldn't feel my muscles in my legs, which is a weird feeling to think about, especially because I'm like almost demanding the most out of them right now. But for my dip and drive on a lot of these, it's just like, oh god, how am I gonna do this? But I ended up making them all. They're not super great. One's a press out, which would not be a lift, a mid lift, but it is what it is. Um, I think one thing I should really think about more is giving myself a little bit more credit. I know I am extremely negative a lot of the time, but like, ooh, that was fucking not great. But when I was snatching, I was just like, how hard is today gonna be? And then when I started moving, I was just like, oh shit, it's pretty good, you know? I am happy with the way I snatched today, and I think that that is a win. That is a personal win, in my opinion. Um, it's important to remember for me, it's that, like, I'm fucking sick. I I don't want to sound conceited or cocky, but I think my lifting is fucking sick. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry if that sounds like I'm just like blowing smoke up my own ass, but I think I've adopted the idea that I can always be better, and that sometimes muddies the water on whether or not I actually think I lift well. Because generally speaking, I think I do lift well. I just I'm the first person to tell you what I suck at and why things are not going the way they are, or things are not going the way that I want them to, or things are not going the way that I expect them to. But yeah, um, after those clean jerks, front squats, given how I felt like super weak in my legs, it's almost like they weren't there, right? I wasn't sure if I could do 130 for three threes, but the warm up sets were actually solid. So 100 and then 120 was good. It felt like the bar was moving, but I didn't have to try like excessively hard. You know, like as long as I could maintain my technique, then I would be okay. And that is a positive for me in my book because I like I mentioned, I couldn't really feel my legs. I felt weak. But yeah, after that did some pull-ups, some hanging leg extensions. I don't know. Steve wanted me to lift on Wednesday, but I might actually move that to tomorrow. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, I don't get sick and stay sick like I felt this morning. And actually, I felt like that a little bit later after the session, too. So, yeah, that's all for today. Call to action here: like, comment, subscribe. We're doing this now. Like, comment, subscribe. But thank you for watching. Shoots.